This conference will now be recorded.
Fine. Let us start the session. Let me open the yesterday's class notepad. We're discussing about the gallery. Let me go and open the class notes. Currently, we're discussing about the galleries. In the galleries, in class 1, we discussed about what is meant by gallery, how we are going to use the galleries in the Power Apps. Also, we discussed about what the different types of galleries are available and what are the properties of galleries. And coming to the class 2, that is in yesterday's class, we discussed about how to connect the gallery to the forms, how to connect the galleries to the forms we discussed. And also we discussed a few more customizations. Once after connecting the gallery to the form, we discussed somewhat customizations. And now in today's session, we'll discuss about few more customizations. In class 3, in class 3, what we are going to discuss here is, let me go and open another document. Now see, in today's session, the first use case we are going to discuss here is edit the gallery, or not edit the gallery, edit the form. Let me go and open the Power Apps now before going to discuss what we need to do. First, let me go and open the Power Apps. Let me open the app gallery. Let me go and open it. Fine. This we discussed in the yesterday's class, guys. In the yesterday's class, we discussed about if you want to recruit one new employee onboarding process, employee onboarding process. When I click on this new employee, it is going to open the new form where I can go and enter the employee details. Now, once after passing the mandatory fields data, the submit button is enabled. Once if I click on the submit button, the data is going to store into the data sources. Let me enter some data. Let me enter some dummy email ID. Let me enter some date, hire date. Let me keep some salary. Let me keep the position as technical support, date of birth, whatever it is. And let me keep the address as Hyderabad. Just click on the submit button. When I click on the submit button, now the form is going to be submitted to the data sources. Once the form is submitted to the data sources, you will get one notification here, success message. The form is submitted successfully, and you will navigate to the success screen. Next, I want to go to the home screen. When I click on this button, it will go to the home screen. Now, whatever the record you submitted, whatever the records you submitted, you are able to see it here. Just now we submitted what's the record? Stark is the employee details we submitted. Now, when I select this any one of them item in the gallery, this is one item, guys. This is another item. When I select any one of the item in the gallery, let us say I'm selecting the Warner employee details. When I click on this, it is going to open this employee details. When I click on it, now it is going to open the complete details of that employees in one form. And now currently the form is in which mode? Now the form is in view mode. If the form is in view mode, then see we are not able to view the submit button. For this also we written a logic in the yesterday's class. Now what's my requirement here is, now from here we are going to discuss, guys. Up to here we discussed in the yesterday's class. Up to here we discussed. If the form mode is equals to new, then submit button is not visible. And also whenever you if you want to go back to the gallery screen, when I click on this button, it will go back to the gallery screen. Now see, once if I go and select any one of the item in the gallery, it will display the complete employee details in one form. Currently the form is in view mode. Up to here discussed in the yesterday's class. Now what's my requirement here is, what's the next use case is, let me copy this use cases, paste it here. Now in class 3, the first use case I'm going to discuss here is edit icon. Now see, currently the this form is in the view mode. This form is in the view mode. Now what's my requirement here is, now I need to go and assign the manager name. I want to enter the manager name and project name. In future, I want to allocate this employee, one employee to one project, and I want to enter the manager name here. So in order to enter the data by default, if I try to enter, it doesn't allow. Why? Because the form is in the view mode. Now I want to make this form as in edit mode. In order to go and keep the form in edit mode, I want to keep an icon here, or I want to keep button here, button or an icon. Let us take edit button. When I click on this button, the form need to be in the edit mode. Now let me go and perform those operations now. Let me add one button. What button I need to go and add it here is, let me add the button called edit button, guys. Let me add one button called edit. Now see, edit icon, icon or a button. Let me add it. Now let me go and keep this here. Keep it here. On select of this button or on select of this icon, what I need to do? I need to go and make the form as edit form. Now let me change some color for this icon. Keep it in the white. And let me go and play the app. Fine. It looks like this. Let me reduce some size. Save it and play the app. Fine, guys. Now see, this is the button, edit button. When the user click on this button or icon, currently the form is in the view mode. It need to be in the edit mode. It need to allow the user to edit the data. If you want to do any modifications, he need to do. So in order to go and perform it, now what I am doing here is, first one is add an edit icon or a pencil icon to edit the form. So in order to go and edit the form, when I select this icon, select the icon and go to the on select property. Go to the on select property. Currently it is false. Now what I want to do here is, I want to make the form as an edit form, guys. Go to the on select property and make the form as edit form. Edit form. Which form I want to edit? Form 1. This is the form which I want to edit when I select this button, on select of this button. Now see, save the app and go and play it. Now when I select this icon, now see, it will allows us to edit the data in the form. Now I'm able to edit it. Now I'm able to edit the data. Now see, let us say I'm entering the manager name. Let me keep the manager name as for this employee. Let me keep the manager name as Sunil, and the project he is going to work. Let us say the project name is Retail AB. Retail AB is the project. This is the project title, and he is the manager for that project. Now I want to edit some data, guys. Now once after selecting this, once after editing the data, next my requirement here is, I want to go and click on the submit button. When I click on the submit button, it need to submit the data to the data sources. Now see, instead of going and keeping this one as a submit button, I want to make this one as a save button, guys. For if the form is in new mode, new form you are submitting, then submit. But if you are doing some modifications in the existing data, so in this case I need to go and keep what? Save. So before going to keep save here, just remove the manager name and project. Now play the app and go to the home button. Click on the home. I'm going to the home. Now okay, when I select this button, when I select any icon, any item in the gallery, now I'm able to see the edit button here. Currently the form is in the view mode. When I click on it, I'm able to edit the data in the form. Now try to understand, when I go to the gallery, now here I'm selecting the new employee details. When I select the new employee details, now the form is in the new mode. Now I can enter the new employee details. new employee onboarding process. Now see, if I am entering the new employee details, now I am entering the new employee onboarding process. If the form is in the new mode, then what is the need of having this edit icon? When I need to go and show this edit icon, if this form is in the view mode, if the form is in the view mode, then only I want to display, or then only I want to see this, I want to visible this icon. If the form is in the new mode, if the form is new mode, then I don't want to show this edit icon, guys. So this is what my requirement. If you observe here, when I click on the new employee, that means new employee onboarding process. New employee onboarding process. If you are entering the new employee onboarding process means, then what is the need of having this edit icon here? When I need to go and display this edit icon, if you are editing the form, if you are editing the data in the form which is already is there, then in this case only I need to go and display it. Otherwise, I don't want to show. So go and select this icon. Let me do one thing. Go and select this icon and go to the visible property. There is one property for this icon, visible property. Now on this visible property, currently it is true. Now what I want to make here is, when I want to show this form, when I want to show this icon means, form1 dot mode, form1 dot mode equals to view, form1 dot mode equals to view, then only I want to display mode is equals to view. When I want to display visible, when I want to visible this icon means, if the form is in the view mode, then only go and display it. Now see, the form is in the edit mode, I'm not able to see it. I'm not able to see it. I think it is showing one warning message.
Yesterday we kept form mode dot view, sir.
Not like this, madam. Form1 dot mode is equal to display mode dot view. Form mode dot view. Let me keep here. Form1 dot mode equals to form mode dot view. When I want display, this means if the form mode is equals to view, then only I want display it. Now it is correct. Previously it is display, but it is mode, right? I want to keep it as mode. That's why it is some warning message. It is not an error, warning. Now save the app. Now go and play the app now. Go and play the app. Go to the home tab. Now see, when I go with the new employee details, I'm not able to see the edit icon. But when I click on any one of the item in the gallery, now the form is in the view mode. If the form is in the view mode, then only go and display it. If I click on the edit, if I click on this pencil icon, now the form becomes in the edit mode. Yes or no? Yes. Now if the form is in edit mode, automatically see the pencil icon is gone. So when I want to display, this icon means, when I want to display this icon means, if form is equals to in the view mode, then only I want display. Remaining form mode is view or in the edit, I don't want display. So this is what I'm doing. One is in the visible property. Second one is what? On select property. On select property, what I'm doing on this button, on this icon, I want to edit the form. Go and edit the form. So, okay, when I go and play this, when I click on the new employee details, I'm not able to see the edit icon. Now when I go and select any one of the item in the gallery, now see I'm able to see the edit icon because the form is in the view mode. When I click on this button, edit button, now see automatically that edit icon is gone. Now I'm able to edit the form. Now see, once the form is in edit mode, next my requirement here is, I want to enter some manager name. I want to enter the project ID, project name and manager name. Once after entering the project name and manager name, instead of going and showing the button as a submit button, I want to show it as a save button. Why? Because I'm doing some changes in the form. if you are submitting the form for the first time to the data source, then I want to make it as a submit form. But here I'm doing some modifications. Modifications means instead of going and keeping the button name as submit, better to go and save it, keep the name as a save button. So in order to go and do this, let me go and add another button, guys. We are not able to make use of the same button for view also. So what I will do here is I will add another button. I will add another button, and I'm going to make this button name as save. Save. Now on this save button, on select property, submit form. Here also I want to submit the data only. Submit form, which form? Form 1. Submit form, form 1. Now see, when I want to display this button, save button, whenever you are doing any changes, when we will do the changes, if the form mode is in the, if the form is in edit mode. But now see, when I go and play the app, when I click on the new employee details, here also I'm able to see it. When the form is in new mode, I don't want to see the save button. I want to show the submit button. When I want to show the save button, whenever you are selecting any one of the item in the gallery, whenever you click on this edit button, whenever you click on, now also I don't want to show the save button. When I click on this edit button, then only I want to show the save button. Here I don't want to display the submit button. Now how to perform it? How to perform this operations? Just the home tab, select this edit button. Now what I want to do here, guys? I want to do some modifications. I want to do some modifications here. So when I want display this one means whenever the form is in the edit mode, then only I want display. Remaining, if the form mode is new, if the form mode is in the view, then I don't want to display the save button. When I want to display the save button, the form mode is equals to edit. For this, what I will do here is go to the visible property again. For this button, there is one property called visible property. Go to the visible property. Before going for visible property, do one thing, guys. Wherever the submit button is there, in the same place I need to go and place this save button also. Same place, exact positions. So in order to go and save it, first go to the X position. Now in the X position, what I want to keep here is, let me keep here submit button. This button will have, right? Let me select this button name, copy the button name, and select this save button. Go to the X property. Here let me keep it as, what is the X property means? Submit button dot, submit button dot X, submit button dot X. So see, automatically it is coming to the X position in the same place. And also Y, submit button dot Y, submit button dot Y. So Y also it will take the same position. Next, width, width also submit button dot width, same exact position I want to replace. Submit button dot width. Height, submit button dot height, submit button dot height. Now see, exactly it is replaced. Now wherever the submit button is there, exactly in place of submit, the save button is displayed. Now select the save button, select the save button. Now go to the visible property. When I want to show this button, when I want to display this button, if the form mode is in the edit, if the form mode is equals to edit, then only I want to display it. So what I will do here is go to the visible property. Now select here form1 dot mode, form1 dot mode equals to form1 dot edit, form1 dot edit. Just 1 second, it's not displaying. form mode dot edit. Form mode dot edit. Now when I want to display this message, when I want to display this save button means, if the form mode, if this form mode is equals to edit, then only go and see this save button. If the form mode is view, or if the form mode is new, then I don't want to display the save button. Now go and check it. Now see, go to the home tab, go to select this. Now when I click on the new employee, now see I'm able to see the submit button only, guys. I'm able to see only submit button. But when I go and select any item in the gallery, currently I'm not able to see either submit button or save button. But when I click on this edit, now see I'm able to see the save button. In place of submit, I'm able to see what? I'm able to view the submit button. If you want, if you go and check here, what is the icon you are displaying means save button is displaying this. In the back end, you are able to view the submit button. Just we are hiding it. Just we are hiding it. Now this is what I want to do. When I want to save, display the save button is if the form mode in the edit. Now see, just try to understand. I'm going to the new tab. I'm selecting the Warner employee details, complete details. Now the form is in the edit mode. Go and click on the edit button. Now let me enter the manager name. Let me enter the manager name as Sunil. Project name, whatever the project it is. Let us say Retail AB is the project. Retail AB is the project. I'm going to allocate this employee. Now go and click on the save button. Once if I click on the save button, now it is going to submit the data to the data sources. Now go and check that employee details is updated or not. Now go and check. Go to the gallery. Go to the gallery site. Create one site called gallery. Go to the employees. Go to the employees and Warner employee details. Previously we don't have any manager and a project. Now see, manager name is Sunil. Project is Retail AB. And let us say I want to assign the Smith also, guys. If I want to assign the Smith employee, go and select the Smith employee details here. Here I am at a high level, I'm showing the data. Click this view mode, Smith employee details in the view mode. Click on the pencil icon. It is in the edit mode. Now go and select the manager name as Winky and a project. Let us say Power Apps is the project he is going to work. Now go and click on the save button. When I click on the save button, now see, automatically it is submitting the data to the data sources and then it is giving some data here. Now if you go here, refresh that SharePoint and Smith employee details. Previously we don't have any manager and project. Now see, the manager name is Vinky and project is Power Apps. So like this, if you want to do any changes in the form, you can do it. In the yesterday's class, we discussed about how to connect the gallery to the form. In today's session, once after connecting to the gallery, how to edit the gallery, how to edit the form. Go and click on this pencil icon. Now that you can edit the form, you can do whatever the changes you want to do here, guys. Whatever the changes you want to do in this form, whatever the modifications you want to do. Once after doing all the modifications, just go and click on the save button. If you click on the save button, it will go into submit the data to the data sources. This is what the save button. This is my second scenario. This is second scenario, save button. And next one is unsaved data. Now what is this unsaved data means? Now try to understand what's my requirement here is. If we do any changes in the form, if you do any changes in the edit form, if you do any changes in the edit form, then need to display a warning message to the user. If the user is doing any changes in the edit form, then I want to display some warning message, guys. Just I want to display some message. What is the message I want to display here is the form is not saved. That means the form has unsaved changes. Please save the form. What I want to keep here is let us say the form has unsaved changes. Please save the form. Please go and save the form. I want to display this message. When I want to display this message, warning message, whenever the user is doing any changes, then go and display this message. That just indicating to the user that you are doing some changes in the form. Don't forget to save this. Go and click on the save button. That's what my requirement is. Now how to perform it? Now how to perform it? Now in order to go and perform this, just go and add one text label. Keep it anywhere if you want, anywhere, not only bottom, not only on the top, anywhere if you want to keep, you can go and keep it. Let me increase some size, or let me keep it 16. Font color, keep it in the red. Fine. Now what's the text I want to display here is, go to the text property. The form has unsaved changes. The form has unsaved changes. Please go and save the form. Please save the form. This is the warning message I want to show. When I want to show, whenever there is any changes the user is doing in this form, whenever the user is modifying any data, then only I want to go and show this message. So what I will do here is, by default, if you go and save the app, when I go to the home tab, when I click on the new employee, here also it is displaying the message. I don't want to show this message when the form is in new mode. And also I don't want to show this message when the form is in the edit mode. When I select any item, now the form is in the edit mode. Now also I don't want to show this message. Now when I click on this edit icon, now the data, now the form is in the edit mode. Now also I don't want to show this. If the form was is in the edit, now also I don't want to show. When I want to show this message is, whenever I am doing any changes in the form, whenever I am modifying the data in the form, edit form, then only go and show this warning message. So what we need to do here is, just select the text label. There is one property for this visible property. Go to the visible property. Now on the visible property, I'm going to use one function case. Form1 dot unsaved. Already I discussed this scenario. If form has any unsaved changes, if the form has any unsaved changes, then only I want to display this message. Now see, automatically this message is gone. When this message will be displayed, if there is any changes in the form, then only it will display. And also when I want to display this form means, if the form mode is in the edit, form has unsaved changes, and also, and second condition is what? The second condition has to be form mode must and should be edit. Form mode must and should be edit. So let me keep here form1 dot mode. Form1 dot mode equals to form mode dot not equals to, uh, let me keep here not equals to, guess, form mode not equals to form mode dot new. If the form mode is not equals to new, then only I want to display it. Now see, currently it is not displaying. Now go and save the app, play the app. Now go to the home tab. When I click on the new employee details, now I'm not able to see this message. And also when I go to the home tab, when I edit any one of the item, it is in the view mode. Now also I'm not able to see this message. When I click on the edit, now also I'm not able to see this message. When I want to see if there is any changes, now see, I'm doing some changes here. In place of Warner, let's say I'm keeping here Venki. I'm keeping here Venki. I'm doing some changes in the form. Whenever you are doing any changes in the form, just go and give some indication to the user that the form has unsaved changes. Please don't forget to save the form. Just click on the save. Now see, I'm changing the name. Go and save it. Now it will navigate to the success screen. If you go and see here, go and refresh. Warner is replaced with what? Venki. Warner is replaced with what? Venki. So when I need to go and display that error message means, not a error. Warning message means if you are doing any changes, if you are doing any changes in the form, then only I want to display this. Otherwise I don't want to display. Go and click on the save button. Now it will doesn't. Now go to the new form. I'm not able to see it. Now see, try to understand here guys. Okay, I'm able to overcome this problem. Whenever I'm doing any changes in the form, then only I'm able to see some warning message. Now try to understand. I'm entering some new employee details. Some random mobile number. Some random salary. Let me select any one of the date. Let me select the position. Let me select date of birth. Anyone. Let me keep the address Hyderabad. Now submit the data. Click on submit button. Now see, when I when I'm trying to click on the submit button, if you observe in the bottom here, that message is displaying. If you observe that, whatever the warning message, that warning message I'm able to see. So how to overcome this problem? In order to overcome this problem, once after submitting the data, once after submitting the data on the submit button, go and make the form as a new form. Go and make the form as what? New form. Once after submitting the data, go and make the form as a new form. Now we are not able to see it. Save the app, play it. Now enter some data. SS 456, employee name. Let me keep it as VVS, or let me keep it as Maxwell. Mobile number, some random mobile number. And let me keep some mail ID. Let me select the hire date, any date. Salary 20,000. Let me select any position. Let me select the date of birth. Enter the location as Bangalore. Submit. Now previously if you observe, when I click on the submit button, somehow it is blinking that message here, warning message. Now to overcome this problem, on submit, once the form is submitted, I'm making the form as a new form. So when I click on the submit button, now see, we are not able to see this message here guys. Now see, we are not able to see that message. So if you have some warning messages like this, if you are submitting the data to the form first time, you are able to, somewhere it is blinking, just one fraction of second is blinking and going. So in order to overcome this problem, once after submitting the data, make the form as a new form, then we are not able to see that message. Fine. Okay, this is what the one of the scenario. Whenever if you edit the data, whenever if you edit the data, some warning message it will give. Now another scenario is, instead of going and displaying this warning message, what I want to do here is, whenever if you do any changes in any one of the data card, in any one of the data card, that data card border I want to change. Now see, currently what is the data card border? It is something like blue. Now I want to change the border of this. I want to change the border to red. Whenever if you are doing any changes in any one of the data card, I want to change the border color to red. This is another type of indication to the user that you are doing some modifications in the form. Just go and save it. Now in order to go and do this, what I will do here is, select any one of the data card, select any one of the data card, and go to the border color. Go to the border color. Here what I will do here is, I'm going to write some if condition guys. If this item, this item dot ename, let's say if I am updating the ename, this item dot ename, let me select where it is ename. This item dot ename, if this ename data card, this item dot data card ename is not equals to the value in this data card. Select the data card value, copy the name, and go and select the data card again. If the value in this data card is not equals to the value here .txt, then if it is not equals to whatever the item that is there in this data card, employee name data card is not equals to whatever the value you are going to enter here, it is not matching, then I want to display the color dot red. I want to make the border color to red. Otherwise I want to keep it as same blue. Same blue color. Now save the app, play the app, go to the new tab. Here go and select any one of the item in the gallery. Now go and click on the edit button. Now see, if I do any changes, automatically the border color is changing. If you observe, whatever the item you are changing, which data card values you are changing, automatically that data card border is changing. That means you are doing some changes. Go and save the app, go and save the form again. So just some identification, guys. This is one type of identification. We are giving some message to the user. Go and save the form. This is another type of notification that you are doing some changes. Go and save the form. So like this you can go and do for all the records, guys. Now if you see here, border color, I'm writing this code. So just copy the code and do it for remaining all the data cards. Going and doing all the data cards is not easy for me, right? So I'm showing one or two. This is one data card. Another data card, let us say employee number. If I change the employee number, go to the border color here, just copy and paste. Now in place of this data card value, select the employee number data card value, copy this, and then go here, paste it here. Now save the app, go and play. Now see, if I do any changes here also, it will displace the, it will changes the color. Why it is not, just 1 second, why it is not showing proper values. Go back, come here, edit. By default is displaying, just 1 second, let me check. Select this, ename, current, but here we need to go and select the not ename. Here we need to keep what, this item dot employee number, this item dot employee number. Now go and play the app. Now see, go to the home tab, click on the edit, any edit, go and click on the edit button. Now see, by default it is not displaying any error messages. If you go and do any changes, automatically what's the message here, it is throwing some message. Here also it is indicating that you are doing some changes. If there is any change you are doing, then I want to change the border color. Here also if you go and change, then here also it is changing the border color. So like this, go to each and every data card, do the same operation. Whatever I am writing for these two data cards, go and do the same thing for the remaining all the data cards also. Going and doing all the data cards, it will waste of time. Anyway, you know that how to get this type of requirement. Go and do it for remaining all the data cards in the form. This is another type of notification we are displaying to the user that there is some changes you are doing in the form. Go and save the app. And next my requirement here is, if you see, okay, if the form is in the edit mode, if I do any changes, it is displaying some error message, some warning message, red color. But when I go to the form, when I go to the new form, now see, if I enter any data, it is displaying the border color as red. This is not correct. When I want display this red color border, if I do any changes in the form, in the edit form, if I do any changes, then only I want to keep the border color. But here the form is new mode. If the form is new mode, then I don't want to show any border color, guys. So what I need to do, again, select the data card. Here I need to go and use under condition, guys. What is the one more condition I need to pass here is form mode dot, if form one dot mode equals to edit. If the form mode is equals to edit, then only I want to display. Form mode dot edit, not like this. Form 1 dot mode equals to edit. Form mode dot edit, and I'm using the and operator here. And when I want display this message means border color means if the form mode is equals to edit, and also the second condition is what, if we are doing any changes in the data in the form, then only go and display it. Otherwise I don't want to display. If the form mode is equals to new, and also if the form mode is equals to view, I don't want to show this border color red when I want to display. If the form mode is equals to edit, and also if you are doing any changes in any one of the data card, then only go and display the border color to red. Now save the app, play it, and now see, go to the home tab, go and select any one of the icon, click on the edit button. Still now it is not displaying any color. Now when I do any changes, now it is displaying the border color, and also it is displaying this warning message. Now go to the home tab. Now go and click on the new form. When I click on the new form, if I enter any data, now see, now it is not displaying the border color to red, but previously it is displaying the border color to red. To overcome this problem, what we are doing, on select of this, select the data card here, go and write another condition. Is the another condition I'm writing. So just copy the same condition, copy it, copy it, and go to the employee number. Here also I'm displaying, right? Paste it here, copy and paste it here also. So like this, you need to go and do the remaining all the data cards. Go and save the app now. This is another type of indication or a warning message to the user we are displaying if they are doing any changes in the form. If they are doing any changes in the form, and they click on the edit button, if they're doing some changes, one way you can go and display this warning message, or you can display this border color. Like this, you can do some customizations, guys. These are some of the customizations. And next, my requirement here is, currently we completed the unsaved, form has unsaved. Two things we discussed. And next one, form title. Form title I want to change. What is my requirement here is, change the title of the form dynamically based on the form mode. Based on the form mode, I want to change the title of the form dynamically. That means, now see here guys, try to understand. When I go to the home tab, when I click on the new employee details, that means I'm going to submit the new employee details. When I'm submitting the new employee details, I want to keep the title as new employee onboarding process. I want to keep the title as new employee onboarding process. This is the title I want to keep. This is what the title I want to keep. Next, if the form mode is new, this is the title. Let us say, if I am selecting any one of the item, which item I am selecting? Warner. When I select the Warner employee details here, when I click on this icon, now see, it is displaying the Warner employee complete details. And also in the title, what I want to show here is, in place of showing the new employee onboarding process, I want to display the title as Warner EMP details. I want to change the title here, guys. Which employee details you are selecting in the gallery, that employee name I want to display, Warner employee details. These are the Warner employee details. Let us say, if I select the Smith, now I want to display message here what? In place of showing the new employee onboarding, I want to show the message as Smith employee details. So when I want to display this header means, when I want to display this header is, if the form is equals to new mode, if the form is in the new mode, then only go and display this header. And remaining cases, whatever the item I am selecting in the gallery, let's say I'm selecting the Scott, and I select this, I want to display here Scott employee details. This is what my next requirement is. Which employee details you are selecting in the gallery, that employee name I want display in the top. So select this control, select the control, and go here. Now I'm writing some if condition. If form1 dot mode, if form1 dot mode equals to form mode dot new equals to form mode dot new dot new. Then what I want to display? If the form mode is equals to new, then I want display it. This is the header I want display. Else, if the form mode is not equal to new, that means if the form is in the view mode or if the form is in the edit mode, then what I want display? Whatever the item I am going to select in the gallery, that means gallery one, right? Gallery one or two? Gallery two dot selected. Gallery two dot selected dot ename. Selected dot ename. Which item you are selecting in the gallery? From that item, I want to take the name. This is the text I want to keep. And also along with this concatenate, along with the employee name, I want to display something emp details. Emp details. This is the message I want to display. Just close the if condition. Now go and save the app. Play it. Go to the home tab, guys. Now see, when I go and click on the new employee details, now what is the message? New employee onboarding process. When I go to the home tab, but when I click on the Warner employee details, I'm selecting the Warner employee details in the gallery. Now see, what's the message it is showing? Warner employee details. Currently you are seeing which employee details? Warner. If I go and click on the edit also, I'm able to see Warner employee details only. Now see, if I go and click on the Smith, now see, currently you are viewing which employee details? Smith employee details. These are the Smith employee details. If you go to the back, if you go and select the Finch, currently you are viewing which employee details? Smith employee details. So for this, what I'm doing? Simple guess, nothing. I'm writing one if condition. If form1 dot mode, if the form mode is equals to new, then this is the text I want to display. This is the header. Otherwise, if the form mode is not equals to new, that means if the form mode is in the edit or in the view mode, then what I want to display? Gallery 2 dot selected. In the gallery, whatever the item you are selecting, from that item I want to take the name. I want to keep that name here. Along with that, concatenate employee details. Let us say if you select the Warner emp details. This is what I'm doing. Simple. Go to the home tab. If I select the Stark, now see what's the details? Stark employee details. So like this, you are able to change the header of the form dynamically. If the form is in the new mode, what is the text? What is the header you want to keep? If the form mode is in the edit mode, what is the text you want to keep? So here, this is my requirement. Which employee details I'm selecting in the gallery? That employee name I want display on the top, Warner employee details, and here I'm seeing only which employee details? Warner employee details. This is what my requirement. And also see here, the next my requirement here is when I click on the new employee details, when I submit any one of the details of the employees, let us say I'm keeping here the name as Venki, mobile number something. Let me keep the email ID Hyderabad. Let me select the salary something like 20,000. Let me take the position as team lead. Enter the date of birth, whatever the date of birth it is, and hire date, whatever the hire date it will be. Click on OK. Now see, when I click on the submit, it will navigate me to the new screen. And now when I go to the home tab and I click on the home tab, where I can see this newly submitted employee details, I'm able to see that newly submitted employee details in the bottom of the gallery. But what is my requirement here is whatever the data I'm going to submit to the data sources, that employee details, I want to show it on the top of the gallery. That employee details I want to display it on the top of the gallery. This is what my next requirement is. Gallery latest data. That means show the latest data on the top of the gallery. That means which data you are submitting that newly submitted data I want to display on the top of the gallery, guys. First I want to display it. Currently it is displaying where? By default is showing in the bottom. I want to display on the top. This is the next requirement. How to display it? Select the gallery, go to the items property. In the items property, go and use one function called sort function, guys. What is the use of this sort function is it is going to sort the data in the gallery. Sort, this sort function is asking us to pass enter what? First it is asking us to enter the data source. What is the source? employees is the source. Now keep comma. Now it is asking the expression. Now what's my expression here is there is one function called modified. There is one function called modified, last modified. In that data source, whatever the record last modified, that record I want to display it in the top. Now what is the order type? Descending order. Descending order means whatever the last record is there, that record I want to keep it on the top. Now close it. Now see what is the newly submitted record? Winky. If you go and submit one more employee details, AB 1 2 3 4, name, let me keep whatever the name it is, let us say VVS Lakshman. Let me keep some random mobile number, whatever the mobile number it is. Next email ID, VVS Lakshman @gmail.com. Hire date, or no need to pass the hire date also, whatever the date it will be. Let me pass some salary. Let me keep the date of birth. Select the position. Let me keep the address. Submit the data. Error. Now it is submitted. Now go to the home tab. Now see whatever the recently submitted record to the data source, that record I'm able to see it on the top of the gallery. For this, what I'm doing, simple, nothing, just I'm using one sort function, guys. What is the use of this sort function is it is used to sort the data in the gallery either in the ascending order or in the descending order. Now I want to sort the data in the gallery based on what? Last modified in the data source. Whatever the record we recently modified, that record I want display in the top. In the order type is descending order. And next to my requirement here is final one more requirement. Now see here, guys, this gallery currently we don't have any background color. Let me add some background color. And also let me keep it in the semi bold. Doesn't looks good. Fine. It doesn't looks good background color. Let me add something. Fine. Now see, this is the background color I'm having. Now try to understand, when I select any item in the gallery, when I select any item in the gallery, I want to change the selected item background. Now see, I'm selecting the Warner here. It is not changing the background color. I want to change the background color that which item I am selecting. So in order to go and perform the select the gallery, gallery will have one property called template fill. Template fill. Select this one. Now currently this is the color it is displaying. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to use one if condition, guys. If this item dot selected, this item dot selected, this item dot is selected, I think. Yes, is selected. Whatever the item you are selecting in the gallery, that item color I want to make it as a blue color, guys. Which item you are going to select, I want to make this color as a color dot blue. Which one looks good? Color dot blue violet. Otherwise I want to keep the same color. Otherwise I want to keep the same color. It doesn't looks good. Instead of violet, let me keep it as blue itself. Now go and play. Now see here, guys, which item I am selecting in the gallery, that item background color, template fill color, we are able to change it here. Hover color also you can go and change it. I think we have some hover color here. There is no hover color. I think hover color is not there. Let me check we have any hover colors. There is no hover color, but we can do one thing. We can do the transition. We have the transitions, right? Properties we discussed, pop or push. Let me select the push. Now say that. Now see, when I hover any one of this item, it is pushing back. Now select this one, the background color is changing. When I select this one, it is going to edit the data. When I select this one, it is going to edit the data. When I do any changes, it will throw some warning message and border color is changing. When I click on the save button, it is going to submit the data to the data sources. If I do any changes, it will submit the data to the data sources. Or once if you go and click on the new tab, new employee, the form is in the new mode. Once if you fill the mandatory fields, then only the submit button is enabled. If you click on this, it will navigate to the success screen. And also whatever the item you are selecting, if you select here Maxwell, this employee name I'm able to see, Maxwell employee details. This is the complete details of those employees. When I click on it, we are able to edit the form. Now whatever the modifications you want to do, you can do it and click on the save button. So this is what, how to connect the galleries to the form and how to do the customizations, how to do all the customizations. And in the next class, see, in today's session what I'm discussing here is, when I do any changes here, when I do any changes in the existing data, it is displaying some warning message here. In place of displaying these warning messages, if I go and click on either home tab, or if I go and click on the back button without saving the data, I'm doing some changes, guys. Okay, here I'm doing some changes. Yes. Now I'm not saving the app. Without saving the app, if I go and click on either back button, if I go and click on either home button, I want to display a dialog box. I want to display one pop-up, guys. Pop-up window. See, whenever if you are closing the app, it will show some message. Pop-up window it will display. What is that message? Do you want to really close the app? Yes or no? Yes means click on this button. No means click on this button. This type of dialog box I want to display. Pop-up window. We'll call it as pop-up windows. Now how to create the pop-up windows, we'll discuss now in the tomorrow's class. These are some basics, guys. This it will also good. Okay, you are showing some modifications, you are giving some warning message to the user that you are doing some changes in the form. Go and save the form. Instead of doing this, if you are doing any changes, instead of showing this warning message, instead of keeping the border color to red, without saving the form, if you click on either back button or if you click on the home button, I want to display one warning message, yes, warning box, dialog box, or a pop-up window we'll call it. If the form has unsaved changes, do you want to close the app or cancel? Yes or no? If you click on yes, it doesn't save the form. If you click on no, then you need to come here, save the form, and then go and click on the home tab or back button. So how to create the pop-up window, we'll discuss it in the tomorrow's class. Pop-up window is looks good, proficient way. These are some just warning messages we are displaying here, guys. These two, you can go and keep these two also, but creating the pop-up window looks better. Fine. Let me stop here. We'll discuss here how to create a pop-up window when I click on this back button or home button in the tomorrow's class. How to display the pop-up windows. Now, let's go to the questions. Any questions? Unmute from your side and go ahead. Online people.
Next class is on Monday, right? Or tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have the class. We are lagging, not able to complete the course within the time duration. So this Saturday we have the class. Tomorrow we'll discuss about the pop-up.
Okay, thank you.
Tomorrow we have the class, guys. Try to attend the tomorrow's class.